rundown of these issues so that you can get to know about them. So that 5 p.m. on the dot, the phone lines will be open so that you can chip in to the conversation. You can let us know your opinion, your suggestion, your idea, just whatever it is that you have to say about the topics which we'll be discussing, right? So, welcome to the recap. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend that the recap is now on your airwaves. All right, then. So we'll be starting from party politics, where national deputies are saying members against Damagum should leave the PDP. The elected deputies of the PDP National Working Committee have asked those who are against the acting national chairman, Ambassador Umar Damagum, to honorably exit the party rather than engage in acts that can divide the PDP. And IPOB leader Namdi Kanu insists on his case being transferred to the southeast rather than remain with Justice Binta Nyako. NLC faults federal government 8 billion naira allocation for electricity bill awareness campaign in 2025 budget. Federal government approves a 4 billion naira conditional cash transfer for vulnerable households. APC federal government are killers. Namdi Kanu, this is from Killers-sowore. And make your products in America or pay tariff. Trump tells leaders 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different issues. So you know it's a power-packed program this evening. My name is Chioma Innocent. The next voice you hear will be that of the analyst. His name is Mr. Peter Anaske. He's a social, national, and international affairs analyst. Welcome to the recap and thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
To those who have missed me, I'm here. I've not been around for the past 2 weeks, which is because I was in the hot seat. So when you're calling in today, just be telling me, Chama, welcome back from the hot seat. Welcome back from the hot seat. But it's always a pleasure and a privilege and an honor to be here. Thank you so much for always riding with us. It's another opportunity to talk about the issues that made the major headlines during the week. These issues we'll be talking about made major headlines during the weekend. We want to talk about them, want to remind you of them. We want to just delve into these issues and see what are the different ways that we can actually look at these issues. And of course, we want to hear your point of view on all of these issues, but that will happen at 5 p.m. We'll be starting on the international scene, right? And let's talk about what Trump is saying. This is what we'll talk about first today. So from the international scene, we'll come back home to Nigeria. Who is this? Who sent this message on WhatsApp? I rebuke you. What do you mean? Look at what this person sent. This person says, Chioma Innocent Idibia Ekpa. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? What's your name? Prince Francis? Prince, this audio you're recording, I won't play it, so don't bother. I rebuke you and I rebuke this name that you're calling me. What do you mean by that? Anyway, let's get serious. Make your products in America or pay tariff. Trump tells leaders. Now we know that you're Trump's representative in Nigeria, Mr. Peter Anaske. U.S. President Donald Trump has told the world business leaders that was on Thursday to manufacture in the United States or to face tariffs in his first major speech to global leaders since returning to the White House this week. Now, since his inauguration on Monday, the 20th, Trump has said that Washington could impose steep tariffs on the major trading partners, Canada, Mexico, and China, as soon as February 1, which is in about 6 days' time. He's also signed a flurry of executive orders pulling the United States out of the Paris Climate Accords and the World Health Organization. He says, if you do not make your products in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply, you will have to pay a tariff. All right. So, anyone who knows you knows that you like Trump and you admire what he's doing. Is this one of those things that you admire? And what does this portend for the American people or for America's business and economic partners?
The world is all about interest. The world is all about interest. Donald Trump, as a businessman, real businessmen don't waste money. And one of the problems that Nigeria have is that we've never had a thoroughbred businessman as a president in Nigeria. From 1960 up to today, we will have had that opportunity in 2019 if the Atiku Obi ticket has sailed through. That will have been the time we will have a thoroughbred businessman leading this country. Businessmen doesn't waste money, understand? And they also save money. So Nigeria is the biggest market in Africa. Nigeria, the current population that's of Nigeria is about 227 million. One of the biggest markets in the world. So, and what is happening, because we are not manufacturing, other countries are using us as a dumping site. Other countries of the world are using Nigeria as a dumping site. But assuming we are producing, and Tinubu say, come and produce in Nigeria or face heavy tax. Come and site your industry in Nigeria or pay heavy tax. Those people who are using Nigeria as a dumping site will start coming here to build industries. There's no two reasons about it, ways about it. So that's why Donald Trump will always be my person. Donald Trump will always be my person. If Tinubu should emulate Donald Trump on this, Nigeria will, the speed with which business will grow in that's its security and the great enabling security and the great enabling environment. You cannot be sending dumping your goods here. If you don't want to manufacture in Nigeria, you start paying 25% tariff. You will see unemployment rate in Nigeria will fall down to 2.34%.
Because these manufacturing companies will be creating jobs for the people.
They'll be creating jobs.
So instead of us importing what they are manufacturing, they would have to
come
here
here
and manufacture
and sure. I know some countries don't like this. Understand? Some countries don't like what Trump did. But to me, I see it as a very good economic move. I see it as what any president who knows his onion in Nigeria should do. This is a 227 million population are wasting. The Nigeria population, this is the biggest market in the world. There's hardly any country in Europe that has a population of 50 million. Hardly in Europe.
So they need other countries to use their products.
So population means market, and we have that market. And the other countries are using us as a dumping site because our leaders don't have a vision. So somebody who knows this game has shown the world how to do it. Manufacture in America or pay heavy tax.
All right, then let's come back home to Nigeria. You're listening to the recap right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Back in Nigeria, we'll be starting with party politics, rather, and we're talking about the PDP. Members against Damagum should leave PDP. This is according to the elected deputies of the People's Democratic Party, PDP National Working Committee, who have asked those who are against the acting national chairman, Ambassador Umar Damagum, to honorably exit the party rather than engage in acts that can divide the PDP. Now, the deputy national youth leader of the PDP, Timothy Osadolo, who spoke on their behalf, stated this while addressing journalists at the national headquarters of the party on Wednesday in Abuja. On the case of the National Secretary, Osadolo said the case is still in the court, adding that Senator Samuel Anyanwu remains the National Secretary until the court decides otherwise. So members against Damagum should leave the PDP. What do you have to say about that?
Well, whoever said that don't really know the trouble in PDP. The person, the so-called youth whatever, don't know that Damagu is one of the trouble in PDP because Damagu is not working for PDP. Damagu is working for APC. Damagu is working for APC.
The acting national chairman of the main opposition party in Nigeria is working for the ruling party.
Damagu is working for APC. Damagu and Wike are working for APC. So whoever is saying that doesn't understand what is going on in PDP. So asking who should leave a PDP, number one is Damagu. If he's not working for PDP, for APC, he would have sacked Nyesom Wike long time ago. But both of them are working for APC. So saying that whoever is not comfortable with the real members, the truthful members of PDP to exit, that is the statement. He wants those who feel concerned about what is happening in PDP to exit. He wants even Banda Muhammad, the governor of Bauchi, to leave. He wants Atiku Abubakar and others to leave because these people have seen what Damagu is doing. That Damagu is one of the agents of APC in PDP. So for me, he doesn't know what he is saying. He doesn't know at all what he is saying.
The Deputy National Youth Leader of the PDP does not know what he's saying by saying anyone who is against the acting. But Damagum has been acting national chairman for how long now? For how long will he continue to remain acting?
Well, the PDP convention is coming in November 2025. So by then, somebody will now be elected as 23. He has been acting since 2023. Before an authentic national chairman is elected, it must be through convention. But the PDP convention is coming around November 2025. So whoever is elected through convention will now become the chairman, that is substantive chairman. That is why he is still on acting capacity. But the truth is that the former national chairman of PDP, which is Yoja Ayu, is from North Central. So the authentic, the person that should have replaced him should have come from North Central. This position and has been using it to sabotage PDP. And that's the same thing that APC is still shouting, that Ganduje is not the right national chairman of PDP, of APC, because the person that he took over from is from North Central, from Nasarawa State. So it is North Central that's supposed to produce the national chairman of APC. But because Ganduje has been capturing states for APC, that's why Tinubu wants him to continue. Even upon his corruption cases, they are still giving him more appointments.
A lot to unpack there when you look at it, but we do have a number of issues to discuss. So let's move on. Activist politician Killers-sowore has blamed the All Progressives Congress APC-led federal government for the premature death of politicians in Nigeria. Sowore said the APC's poor governance and policies are responsible for the premature deaths of Nigerian politicians. He disclosed this during a consultative meeting between the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and political parties in Abuja. Posting on X, Sowore recalled how numerous by-elections were held due to the deaths of some political office holders. We know that Sowore is in the opposition, but isn't this a reach to say the APC federal government are killers and that it is the policies that are making politicians die early?
It's not even only politicians. What happened, or the stampede in Ibadan, the stampede in Anambra, the stampede in Abuja are all works of APC. Because people are dying as a result, because of hunger, because of stress. Now imagine the number of people that have died on road accidents in recent time. Imagine the number of people that have died because they went to scoop fuel. So for me, what he said is true. Understand me? What he said is true. Or the policy of APC is killing a lot of people. So it's only somebody who is living in denial, somebody who is not true to himself, that will fault this statement. Because everything revolves around the government in power. You cannot say that it is a PDP, Labour Party, or NNPP. It is the government in power which has the mandate to take care of the well-being of the people. But they are failing on this. That's why people are dying massively. So for me, he did not say what other people have not said. It is the truth.
But phrasing it as the APC federal government are killers, isn't that a reach again, I ask?
He said federal government, APC-led federal government. Their policies are killing people. That is what he said. So what happened? What killed those people in Ibadan? What killed the widows in Anambra? What caused the death of people in Abuja? Is the policies of APC. So I don't see it as that he's trying. And mind you, this is also what Kemi Bednock said, that she doesn't want to belong to a country where government is destroying the destiny of the people. That's what Kemi Bednock said, even though in a different way. It's not even in a different way. Somebody destroying destiny and killing somebody is the same thing. Because destiny simply means destination, where you are going. And if somebody is unable to get to his destination, he's dead. So that's the truth.
All right, you're tuned into Voice of the People 90.3 FM. This is the recap where we discuss and analyze issues that made the major headlines during the week. We've talked about two of these issues, starting from the international scene, where Trump is telling countries that they must either manufacture in the United States or they risk high and heavy tariffs, right? And then we've just come back home. We've talked about the PDP and their internal wranglings, where the deputy national youth leader of the party, Timothy Osadolo, has said that any member against the acting national chairman, Umar Damagum, should leave the PDP. That is, say that the people in the PDP are happy with their acting national chairman. Then we just talked about the APC federal government are killers. This is according to Sowore, who said the reason for the untimely death or the premature deaths of many Nigerian politicians as the poor governance and the policies by the APC federal administration. Let's talk about the federal government 4 billion naira conditional cash transfer for vulnerable households. The federal government earlier this week approved 4 billion naira for conditional cash transfers to vulnerable households in Nigeria during the launch of the 2025 Nigeria Humanitarian Needs and the Response Plan at the United Nations House in Abuja. That was on Thursday. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Professor Nentawe Yowat, actually announced the interventions, and they are aimed at addressing the country's deepening humanitarian crisis. The initiative is expected to support at least 10 million displaced households, primarily targeting the most vulnerable members of society. So yes, we're back to sharing money in Nigeria. 4 billion naira conditional cash transfer to at least 10 million households. Now, when they say at least 10 million households, it means that it may be more than 10 million. If you share 4 billion naira amongst 10 million people, I think I calculated it came down to, I think, maybe 40,000 naira for each person. And this is not even people, it's to be shared amongst households. So the policy of sharing money, 40,000 naira, what can 40,000 naira do for vulnerable households? Would it feed them for a month? Would it feed them for a week? What are people supposed to do after that particular money is finished? Are they supposed to go back to the government and then say, oh, the cash you transferred to me conditionally has finished, please transfer another one? Is this how we're going to lift our people out of poverty? How about skill acquisition? How about replacing these internally displaced people so that they do not have to leave their ancestral homes, where they have their homes that they don't have to pay rent for, where they have their farms that they can go and farm and get food to eat, so that we can know that what the government will be responsible for is education, basic amenities, and others?
Well, Chioma, if you check publication of 2 days ago, they said that every Nigerian, whether you are 1 year old, 10-year old, 50 years old, is in debt of 624,000 naira. I don't know if you say it. That every Nigerian alive today is indebted to 624,000 naira.
You know, when I saw that, I just thought to myself, which time I borrow this money? Which time I borrow this one?
So imagine a baby that is born today and is already in debt of 0.6 million. Imagine when other person gets to 10 years, how much he or she will be owing. So it is quite unfortunate that that this should be happening in this age and time in the country. During COVID, I am aware that countries share the palliatives, because that time people were not going out. There was lockdown. People were in their houses. But since the end of COVID, has any country, apart from Nigeria, continued to share money? Has any country, apart from Nigeria, continued to share palliative? The answer is no. Okay, if there's another country that is not in war, that is sharing palliative, I want those nations to us from different parts of the world to come and say so and so country continue the sharing palliative after the COVID. So this simply means that Nigeria is still in ICU, intensive care units, because it's only people who cannot help themselves that you'll be bringing these policies for. The truth is that Nigerians don't need palliative. Nigeria don't need sharing money. What Nigerians are hardworking people. We are one of the hardest working people in the world. The energy is there, but the enabling environment is not there. That's the problem. If government should create enabling environment, stop this insecurity, disarm Fulani herdsmen, let them stay with their billions. What Nigeria need is fish, to be taught how to fish, not to be given fish.
You remember that these people who are to collect this money, that the vulnerable people in society, Professor Uwatsta said they will be prioritizing women, especially widows, pregnant women, those with disabilities. He says the experiences of displaced women, particularly those facing pregnancy or disability, are especially challenging, right? And so we understand these vulnerabilities will continue to support those who are most in need. So this is not for able-bodied people who can work and who are working, but to people, the vulnerable ones in society. But even then, it's the best way really to share money to them. And again, I said that when I did this calculation, you say you want to share it to about 10, at least 10 million, which means it may be more than 10 million. So by the time you divide this 4 billion naira, everybody is getting between 40 to 50,000 naira at most. What can that do for that vulnerable person in the grand scheme of things? And for how long? Can it feed them for a year until December? or until the federal government decides to do another conditional cash transfer?
So assuming it is 40,000 naira. Mind you, 40,000 naira cannot buy half bag of rice in Nigeria today. 40,000 naira cannot buy half bag of rice today, and it is for households, not for individuals. Even that, to start with, how did they get these people? Understand me? How did they get these 10 million people? What criteria did they use? Understand? So people will be in Abuja computing names, fictitious names. At the end of the day, they will say vulnerable Nigerians. I have said it on this program that if vulnerable Nigerians should have bank account and have a phone and are buying recharge card, that's vulnerable Nigerians. It means that Nigeria is the richest country in the world. Because I don't know anywhere in the world where vulnerable people will have a bank account, will have phones, is charging their phones. So what government is doing, the more you look, the less you see.
You're saying most of these vulnerable people who are actually in need of what this palliative the government is distributing, they cannot afford these basic things.
So you mean to tell me that vulnerable people in Nigeria has a bank account? How many Nigerians are captured by the bank? Ask yourself that question. How many are banked in the rural areas? The answer is no. Banks are not built in the villages. Banks are built at the urban areas. So, and for these vulnerable people to have money to go and open an account, then something else is happening. You cannot do this thing where there's no data. Nigeria has no data. And that's why these things will go into private pockets. When they said that they were sharing money some time ago, for 3 Saturdays, we were on this program condemning. If you have received, so who are getting this money? Who are getting this money? So for me, it is another way of siphoning funds.
From the humanitarian ministry, you recall we're having a conversation one time. The last 2 people to head this ministry have been women. Have been women, and they were both removed. Better I do was suspended from its appropriation of funds. I think it was Hadiza Bala Usman before her who also had the same issue. And you said you did not expect that women should be the ones doing this, and now it's a man heading the ministry, and we are still down to this palliative. Who was it who called it palliative method of governance? I think it was someone who sent a message here the other day and said this one is a palliative system of government, right? So there is no difference. There really is no difference, because you said, you were expecting the women to do better. Now they're no longer there, and the man who has been brought in is not even doing any better.
No, when you mention woman, compassion comes in. Understand me? Kindness comes in. So when you give a woman an appointment and that compassion is not there, kindness is not there, it becomes absurd. Understand? So if we say a man, because men need more money than women.
Men need more money than women. In what world? Are we not all facing the inflation in the country? Are we not all facing the problems in the country? So how do men need more money than women?
There are men who married about 34 wives, and he is giving them money. There's no woman who married more than 2 men. Understand me? Mm-hmm. There's no woman who married more than 2 men. But there are men who married 4 wives and is giving them is giving them money. That's why they say that men are the head of the family. So the responsibility of the homes is on the head of the men. So that's the reason why they need more money than women. But when a woman begins to steal, you know that the world is coming to an end. Understand? When women begin to, that's why, whenever I hear that a woman is engaged in massive corruption, it shocks me. It shocks me. So that's why I say that I'm not, it surprised me that women are engaged in these things. But there's no way humanitarian ministry will work when there's no data. That's one thing that we should have at the back of our mind. There's no way the humanitarian ministry will function.
Sadia Umar Farouk. Yes, go ahead.
There's no way humanitarian ministry will function where there's no accurate data. It cannot happen.
All right. So I did mention the wrong name before. Better I do, and her predecessor was Sadia Umar Farouk. Both of them were involved in investigations with the EFCC due to misappropriation of funds from the humanitarian ministry. That was when you said that, oh, you expect women to have compassion and you are not expecting that women will be chopping money like this. I still don't understand that, and I don't agree with it, but I digress. We're talking about this palliative system. Now, that's not just this. Before that particular news came out, I think it was maybe about 7 trillion naira that was to be shared to Nigerians, 75,000 naira for each household. And a lot of the people and a lot of Nigerians were asking, why do we keep sharing money? Do you think that the economic advisors who surround the president do not know that this is not the best way? I mean, free money is nice, it's sweet. When it's coming from the government, it's even sweeter. But for the fact that we'll be sharing money, this is not the first time in a year or during this administration that we'll be hearing of, oh, money to be shared to Nigerians, conditional cash transfer. Who came up with this as an economic policy in the first place?
But do you know that you cannot invest free money? Are you aware of it?
But it's your money, you can decide what to do with it.
You cannot invest free money. Okay, when they turned Oshibajo, Buhari turned Oshibajo, our vice president, professor of law, to going from one market to the other, sharing 10,000 naira. At the end of the day, whose life was changed because of that? Whose life was changed by the 10,000 naira that Oshibajo was committed immediately? So saying that you are doing this that to help, it doesn't go beyond 1 or 2 days. And no country can survive by through palliative.
Here's another thing I'm wondering. So 4 billion naira for about 10 million, approximately 70 million of Nigeria's poorest citizens by 2025. So 70 million on one hand of the poorest, 10 million on the other hand of vulnerable people. 70 million of Nigeria's poorest. This 70 million is not even all of Nigeria's poorest. Then the vulnerable people, let's even say they are those who have disabilities and other issues. But then 70 million poorest people, doesn't that speak to actually the kind of desperate economic situations that Nigerians have found themselves? If you have almost half of the population who are living below the poverty line.
No, World Bank said that 133 million Nigerians are living under dimensional poverty. 133 million. And you are now you now want to share money to
70 million.
70 million poorest Nigerians.
So what are you supposed to do with these 75,000 naira to lift them out of that poverty so that they are no longer part of the poorest?
No, these poorest Nigerians still were able to buy phone, were able to go and open a bank account, are charging their phones. Understand me? And still they are poorest Nigerians. That's why I say, if poorest Nigerians can have bank account, then Nigeria is heaven. Because I don't see it in any other part of the world. But the truth is that this is just ways that government is siphoning money. And again, Nigerians don't need this money. What Nigerians need is, one, stop insecurity, create enabling environment. Let the cost, let there be stable but affordable electricity. Once there's stable and affordable electricity, companies will start growing up in Nigeria. Understand? People, these vulnerables, according to the federal government, who are out of job, who are, understanding, will start getting jobs. Even if they are not getting, they have relations who will be giving them. But now they have tied everybody's hand at the back. That's what Tinubu's government has done. Tied everybody's hand at the back. You cannot go front, you cannot go back. Any day they remember you, they say, okay, let us share money, and at least let them have something to eat for that day. Nigeria have become give us this day. Understand? So this is just corruption working everywhere.
All right. And building up on this particular conversation, let's talk about another issue. This still has to do with money. Remember that we're not trying to rile up the polity. These are issues that made the major headlines during the week, and we are just discussing them to bring them to your notice. We also want to get your opinion, your suggestions, your ideas on each of these topics that we are discussing, and that will happen by 5 p.m. when the phone lines will be open so that you can call in and let us hear from you. You're listening to Voice of the People 90.3 FM, and this is the recap where we discuss and analyze issues that made the major headlines during the week. We've been talking about all of these issues, starting from the international scene, where we talked about Donald Trump saying that other countries who want to continue doing business with America must build their manufacturing companies right there in America or risk paying heavy tariffs. We also talked about the PDP and their internal crisis, where the national youth leader of the party has said anyone who does not like or who does not want the acting national chairman to remain the national chairman, that's acting national chairman, that they should leave the PDP. Well, from there, we also talked about APC federal government killers, and their poor governance and policies are responsible for the premature death of Nigeria's politicians. One thing is sure, death waits for us all at the end. And then we just talked about the federal government approving 4 billion naira conditional cash transfer for vulnerable households. Right now, we'll be talking about the NLC faulting the federal government's 8 billion naira allocation for electricity bill awareness campaign in the 2025 budget. Well, the Nigeria Labour Congress has labeled the 8 billion naira earmarked in the 2025 federal budget for raising awareness about electricity bill payment as absurd. The statement was made on Wednesday by the union's president, Comrade Joe Ajero. Now, the Federal Ministry of Power had proposed this budget to educate Nigerians on the significance of timely payment of electricity bills. So if NEPA come knock for your door to tell you, oh, you need to, let me teach you how to pay your bill using the phone that is in your hand, 8 billion. During the budget defense at National Assembly on Monday, the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, introduced the initiative, stating that it aims to tackle issues like power theft, poor payment habits, and the safeguarding of national power assets. He also noted that the campaign would utilize various media platforms, including social, digital, and print media, to effectively reach Nigeria's population of 200 million people. What is 8 billion divided by 200 million? So you can know how much it's costing the Ministry of Power to actually teach you how to pay your bills and sensitize you on the need to pay your bills before it is time. But mostly the power ministry and not just that, the energy sector has been pushing for metering, right? Most houses run on prepaid meter. So right now it's no longer estimated billing. There's no question of, oh, pay your bill on time, because once your light units, once it's you see that it's zero on the meter, the light goes off. So even if every other person has light, you don't have light. 8 billion naira for sensitization campaign for 1 year. How much will now be channeled into resurrecting the national grid that seems to be epileptic and collapses at random?
Even that's to start with. These are now the discos, the distributing companies are private companies. They are not under government anymore.
Is it the job of the discos to sensitize people on how to pay their bills?
What I'm trying to say is that the distributing companies, those that you are now, the Eco distribution, Ikeja distribution, Enugu distribution, Abuja distribution, these are private-owned companies. Do you understand that? These are private-owned companies. Then why should the federal government will be now using their own money to teach people how to pay bills to private companies? It's just like now, as Chisco is, the federal Ministry of Transport will budget 5 billion to teach people how to enter vehicles, private vehicles. This is exactly what it seems like. Because now people are told when NEPA, when this post fell, it's no more your responsibility because it is no more owned by government but individuals. If it's when we have NEPA or PHCN, when they are still under the government, this one can make sense because it is government-owned property. But these are individuals' personal properties. Understand me? The Minister of Education should also have budget to teach Nigerians how to buy my books. Sure, Minister of Education should go and present a budget to teach Nigerians how to buy my books. Because this is exactly what it means. You are now using government money to do PR for private companies. Because the generating companies is privately owned. The distributing companies, that's those people that we are paying bills to, are owned by individuals. These are private companies. Then what business has federal government? What business has the Minister of Power teaching Nigerians how to pay bills, electricity bills? Now, most of us are using a prepaid. Understand? If you like, pay. If you don't like, you'll be in darkness. Once your meter shows red and you fail to recharge, you'll be in darkness. Understand me? You will not need anybody to tell you that you need to recharge. This is a simple thing. So for me, this 8 billion to teach you how to pay your electricity bill, and the 4 billion that they want to give to vulnerable Nigerians are the same thing. This government is very creative on how to siphon a fund. Understand me? They are very, very creative on ways of siphoning a public fund. If it's a distribution that said that they have a budget of how to teach people to pay their electricity bill, that is understandable. Because it is them that we are paying to. It has been privatized. But for federal government to say that they have a budget to teach individuals, it is fraud and nothing but fraud. And I support NLC for condemning it, and every Nigerian should also condemn it.
Seeing how the national grid collapsed about 12 or was it 13 times in 2024, shouldn't the Ministry of Power be more focused on making sure that the national grid is stable and that no parts of the country are left in darkness for more time than they should, rather than actually channeling this? Because when it comes to payment of bills, there are several different channels available to people who already use prepaid meters, to even those who don't use prepaid meters, who still use estimated billing. They know how they've been paying before now, right? So why not channel this money into the appropriate quarters? If Nigerians have light the way they are supposed to, do you think that paying the bills would be a problem? Wouldn't the people be happy to pay their bills if they know that, oh, there is always light, at least 12 to 13 to 14 or 15 hours out of 24 in a day?
With prepaid meter, nobody need to teach you to pay your bill. It's just like your cell phone. Maybe they can also, the Minister of Communication should also present, because it is the same thing. So if you are using prepaid meter, nobody teaches you how to pay your bill, because if you don't pay, you are in darkness. You don't need even, or your pastor will not even tell you. Understand? So what, this is just avenues. 2027, this is 2025. 2027 are around the corner. So some people are already fashioning ways of stealing money for 2027.
You believe that there are people who want to run in 2027 who are looking for campaign funds right now?
It has started even from 20. So this is just a part of it.
All right, then. We have one final issue to discuss before we move on. It's 7 minutes before 5 p.m. right here on the number one station that gives you a voice. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM, and you're tuned into the recap right here on VOP 903 FM. We'll be taking our very last topic for the evening. IPOB leader Namdi Kanu insists on his case being transferred to the southeast. Now, embattled leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazen Namdi Kanu, has insisted that his case should be taken away from Justice Binta Inyako of the Federal High Court in Abuja and transferred to the southeast. Now, according to his special counsel, Aloy Ejimako, in a statement on Wednesday, Kanu had ordered his legal team to ensure that Justice Inyako stays off his case following her recusal after recent attempts to return the case to her. You recall that on September 24 last year, Namdi Kanu had asked Justice Binta Inyako to hand off his trial on the grounds that he lacked confidence in her judgment. Now, that appeal led the judge, that is Justice Inyako, to publicly step down from the case and transferred Namdi Kanu's case file to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice John Soho. Now, in a statement issued on Wednesday night, Ejimako said Kanu gave the instruction during the legal team's visit to him at the DSS detention facility in Abuja. According to the council, Kanu mandated the team to do everything possible to get his case transferred to the southeast if no judge in Abuja is willing to take up his trial. Earlier today, Esther Wachku sent me an audio recording. Now, let me take a look at it. That particular audio was from May. All right, I don't want to play this sound out. That particular audio was from May 29, 2021. Now, it seemed that that particular day was a Friday, as in that audio you could hear Namdi Kanu saying on May 31st, which is a Monday, he doesn't want to see anybody outside, and anyone who steps outside will be killed. Since he used abusive words on them, you know, talked about how we're trying to fight for you, you don't want to listen. Even if you're a market person, I don't want to see you outside. Even if you say you are a transporter, I don't want to see you outside on that day. If you come out on that day, on Monday the 31st, you will die. That was what he said. I recall that at that time, he wasn't even in Nigeria. And so that was how Sit at Home started. And we can see what it has evolved to become at this point. A lot of people, including yourself, are calling for his release, but that is not the issue right here, right now. Moving his case to the southeast, is that really the best thing for his case at this moment, knowing fully well that if he's taken to any court in the southeast, there is no way his supporters may, most likely, there's no way they will not storm the court in a bid to show support, and knowing the insecurity issue in the state, and knowing that the FCC has said, oh, every time they have to move him, or DSS rather, has said every time they have to move him from the DSS facility to the court, it costs about 500 million naira.
Well, you said that the tape that was which year?
May 29, 2021.
Okay. Sit at Home started in Nigeria in August of 2006. August of 2006. So Nnamdi Kanu did not start Sit at Home. He started under the regime of Olusegun Obasanjo, and it happened in Lagos here, not even in the East. It happened in Lagos here. On that day, Chief Ralph Owazrike, the founder of movement for the sovereign state of Biafra, MOSOP, say that Nigerians of Igbo extraction should not go to work, they shouldn't go to market and so on and so forth. And everybody obeyed. That day, all the major markets in Lagos here was shut down. All the major markets here in Lagos was shut down. So it is not Namdi Kanu that started the sit at
I'm talking
home.
about the recent wave, right, that has taken over the southeast and that has endured even up till now.
No, so I'm trying that to put this thing into correct perspective. So at that time, Obasanjo was shocked by what happened. Obasanjo said that the Igbos traveled home for August. That was why they did not open the market. That was the excuse that President Olusegun Obasanjo gave at that point in time, that Igbos traveled for their traditional August ceremony. But we know what happened, because Owazirike, even Ralph Owazirike, used to call me his PA media. Understand? So we are very, very close, and I know what happened. So then for the case of Namdi Kanu, one, the case was not transferred to the office of the Chief Justice of Nigeria. The case file was returned because Justice Peter Nyako said, I don't want to handle this case anymore. Which is which Namdi Kanu said, because in law, you can say, I cannot get justice from this court, therefore transfer my case. It is within his right to do that. It is within his right to say, I cannot get justice under this judge, transfer my case to another court or to a different judge. And because the case has been there for more than 3 years, they keep on postponing. So Namdi Kanu, well, since you are not serious about this case, transfer it to another case, to another court.
Is that a request that would even be accepted, or a request that would even be granted?
It is his right. It is his right to make such a demand. But saying transfer my case to the southeast, personally, I'm strongly against it.
Why that?
One, Namdi Kanu shouldn't be discharged based on sympathy. Because if his case goes to the southeast and he is set free, they will say it is his brother that set him free. He is free because the case happened in his own geopolitical zone. Understand? The truth is that Nigeria government has nothing concrete on Namdi Kanu. They have nothing concrete on Namdi Kanu. If they have anything concrete, they will have jailed him a long time ago. So what they are now doing is just wasting time, tossing the case file up and down. Understand? Because they have nothing concrete on him. Now, if he is transferred there, now, as you said, DSS say moving Namdi Kanu from their custody to the court cost them 5 million naira each time.
500 million.
500 million each time. So I don't know if what they are using that 500 million for. Just like from DSS custody to the court and back. So I don't know whether they hire jets to be hovering over the air until court case is over. So if it costs them 500 million in Abuja only, how much is it going to cost them going to the southeast? It will run into billions. It will run into billions. And if they want to take Namdi Kanu to the coast in the southeast. All the soldiers in Nigeria cannot stop people from invading the. I say I'm against them transferring on this case even to the southeast. The issue is just Ejimako should be telling government discharge and acquit Namdi Kanu, since you cannot prosecute this case. So he shouldn't be saying transfer. He should be saying discharge and acquit Namdi Kanu because you have nothing on him. Understand me? This should be his own argument. Because in law, that's what is called diligent discharge the suspect. So right now, diligent prosecution cannot go on in this case because they have nothing on him. So what Ejimako should be asking government to do is to discharge and acquit Namdi Kanu. Because now they want to return that case file to Binta Nyako. And Binta Nyako will continue giving postponing time until maybe 2026. You begin to hear, if you vote for me, I will release Namdi Kanu. Then they will now use it as a political gimmick. I will release Namdi Kanu, you vote for me. Understand? Maybe by then, the Namdi Kanu has been released. Therefore, they will vote for APC. Understand? So the truth is that they have nothing on Namdi Kanu. They shouldn't be asking for him to be transferred. Rather, they should be asking for the court to discharge and acquit him.
All right, then 4 minutes past 5 p.m. right here on the #1 station that gives you a voice. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. This is the recap. We have been discussing issues that made the major headlines during the week. The voice you've been hearing belongs to Mr. Peter Anosike, and we've discussed quite a number of issues. Let me remind you of these issues before I begin to take your calls on the program this evening. I'll also tell you the numbers to call, and then you can also send a WhatsApp message. But then we discussed the Trump saying you risk heavy tariffs if you do not manufacture in the United States of America. All right, so we discussed that. We started from the international scene. Make your products in America or pay tariffs. Trump tells leaders. Then members against Zamagum should leave the PDP. This is according to the national deputies of the PDP. Then we also talked about APC, federal government, killers. Their poor governance and policies are responsible for the premature deaths of Nigerian politicians. This is according to Killers-sowore. Then federal government approves 4 billion naira conditional cash transfer for vulnerable households. Yes, we also discussed that. Then we discussed NLC Ford's federal government 8 billion naira allocation for electricity bill awareness campaign in the 2025 budget. And right now we just talked about IPOB leader Namdi Kanu insisting on his case being transferred to the Southeast. 5 minutes after 5 p.m. Call me up. We have until 6 p.m. before the show ends, and I'd like to hear from you. The number to call is 0803 692 9933. 0803 692 9933. I can see your messages on WhatsApp. Do keep them coming. Of course, I'd love to hear from you, a voice of the people. If we don't hear from you, waiting we gain. You're the reason why we are here. We definitely want to hear from you. 0803 692 9933. 0803 692 9933. 0803 692 9933 on WhatsApp. It's 0817-175-6338. 0817-175-6338. Call me up or send a message. I'm waiting to hear from you. Welcome to the recap. You're my first caller for the evening. How are you doing? What's your name and location, please?
Hello, good evening.
Hi, what's your name and location, please?
My name is John Daniel. I'm calling from Bagada.
Welcome, John Daniel. Great to hear from you. Please go right ahead.
Please, I want to talk to your guests in the house. Please, I really need help.
Okay, are you calling to talk about the issues that we are discussing today?
Please, I just want to beg you, there's anybody who can render me.
You know what? Send a message on WhatsApp. Send a message on WhatsApp, all right?
I don't have a big phone. I don't have a big phone.
All right, send the text message, okay? Send the text message. Thank you so much. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. I honestly understand your desperation, but that shouldn't be the first call that we'll be getting on the program this evening. 0803 692 9933. 0803 692 9933. That's the number to call to be a part of this conversation this evening. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Spelling coming from the corridor.
Welcome to the conversation. Thank you for calling.
All right. So there are a lot of things to talk about, but for the sake of time and others, I just want to talk about how our government has been spending lavishly and useless in our money. Now, take a look at the money they want to give the vulnerable people, which we know that they will just look for 10-15%, give them the money, and make a video of the whole country has gotten it, okay? And the empowerment they are doing for the electricity prices, let them use the whole of those billions and take back subsidy. So inflation is going to remove, or inflation will be, then do the needful, let them do the rightful. This economy is spending too badly. Their spending culture is so worse and so bad. So let them take the whole of all these billions that they are using to orientate people on paying bills that they want to share to the vulnerable, which you all know is a fat lie. Let them use it to remove the subsidy on the floor.
903 903 0700 903 903 903 or 0803 692 9933 0803 692 9933. You can call that number, or you can also send a message on WhatsApp to 0817 175 6338. 0817 175 6338 on WhatsApp. Okay, send the message. I will be waiting to hear from you. This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. You're tuned into the recap right here on the number one station that gives you a voice. Call me up. I want to hear from you. What is your name and your location, please? Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Kingsley, calling from Churchill.
Welcome, Kingsley. Thank you for calling.
Mine is that I have a complaint to lay. I have a complaint to lay down now. There is something that is happening. There are some police stations that they write their name NNPC, and they are selling their fuel in Lagos here 970. Why NNPC are selling their fuel 925 naira? So I don't know where to report this issue, because it's very, very annoying upon how difficult the country is. There's a police station at Okota opposite Denkan service terminal. They wrote this in 925, and why they are selling 997, 970 at the meter, and nobody knows.
So which NNPC did you go to that they were selling at 925?
Opposite Denkan Tinker at Okota, 970.
Okay.
Yes, I'm talking to you now. Very close there now. Report. So let me report the matter to them.
So the people you saw selling at 925, what day was that? I just want him to finish.
The one at Abula, they are selling 925.
Which day was it? Is it today or yesterday? Did you see the 925 today or yesterday, or which day?
Today, that's of now. I'm in police station today. This morning, I got through this morning, 925 at Abula, though.
All right. Thank you for your call. Because actually, 4 days ago on the 21st, the NNPC raised the price of all his fuel at its Lagos depot to up to 960. You understand? And that's why if they were doing something wrong, they wouldn't tell you to go and report anywhere. But thank you for your call. You want to say something about that?
People sell as they buy. Understand me? And they always add the cost of bringing that fuel to the feeding station. Understand me? So that's why fuel cannot sell the same thing that's in Lagos and Onitsha.
In December, NNPC reduced the price of fuel across all its depots in Lagos to 960 naira. Yes. So those people you see selling at that price, they're actually selling at the correct price for that depot. So please don't go quarreling with them. Okay, but thank you so much for your call. We appreciate it. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. What's your name and location, please?
Good afternoon.
Hi, what's your name and location, please?
Yes, sir.
This is Choma Innocent.
Hey, Choma, I'm studying.
It's great. Great to hear from you. What's your name and location, please?
My name is Yuri. I'm calling you from Jesta.
Welcome to the conversation.
I just want to commend you for your well done work.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Tell me, please, what you do.
Ooh, okay. Thank you for calling. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. If you want to say something, right? I really thank you so much for listening. I thank you for being a part of the program. You're the reason why we are here, honestly. We're voice of the people. So if there is no you to listen to us, then we'll just be talking in vain. But I would like to say, if you want to say something different from what we are discussing today, send a message. We'll attend to it. Okay? Okay? Honestly, sometimes I just take my time to go through the WhatsApp messages, and you could even get a response when there is no program going on air. Okay, so please, if you want to say something that's different from what we are discussing, send a message and we'll attend to it. We do appreciate that you appreciate us, and we appreciate you too. But let us just give space for those people who want to call and contribute to the conversation that we have had today. All right, we do appreciate you. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That's the number to call to be a part of these conversations. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Good evening, Chama.
Hi, how you doing? Great to hear from you.
You kept me waiting.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Mr. Nosika, good evening, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, Chairman, there are the say 2 or 3 or 4 things that I would like to say.
Please
One is the fuel price. You know, we are learning from the West, and Mr. Anosika can confirm that. We are learning from the West. We are saying we are dealing with the price internationally. In the Western world, I'm calling from UK now. In the Western world, the moment the price drops, all their meters will drop the price in every petrol station. Sometimes you can come to a petrol station, the price can drop 2 or 3 times. Even now, the government now has mandated all the petrol stations to be updating their price in what they call fuel finder. There is a kind of an app. They must, from this year, I think around May, all of them will have to update their price. So in case if you want to buy, you know where you can get it cheap. So why is it that when the price drops, it doesn't drop the price? When the price of the crude oil, Nigerians are still buying it at high. Why can't they drop it? Since they are telling Nigerians the price is what is in international.
Hello, Tony Chukudi, are you
Secondly,
there?
Yeah, hello?
All right, please go ahead.
So the second one is this, the issue of money to tell us how to switch off your light. I don't know, Shoma, maybe your light is still on. You didn't switch it off while you are coming to work.
It's to teach how to pay your bills, Mr. Tony.
All of them, because they will teach you to pay the bills. They will teach you to pay your school fees. They will teach you, all the ministers are supposed to come and teach us. So those that have school children, they will teach them when to pay their children's school fees. The farmers, they will teach them when with the share. It's almost with the share. Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, please round up, okay? The network is really terrible. So, I'm struggling to
okay.
hear
One
you.
that I'm trying to beg and I'm trying to beg people is that please start now to educate Nigerians. Let them vote wisely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tony Chukudi, for calling all the way from the United Kingdom. We appreciate you. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. Or send a message on WhatsApp to 0817.
Am I on to VOT at this? And when people want money to steal, to sanitize people, to teach them on how, but that's what they are. When they are dirty, we say they are dirty. So they are always looking for a way to siphon will pay you back. God will pay you back. No one can escape judgment. So
thank you so much for your call.
I will advise them, if you leave it for your children, because the judgment of God, when it starts falling, it will affect them because you train them or you leave begotten words for them. People are hungry everywhere. Or even some people can no longer render assistance to their causing their palliative matter.
Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Hello, are you there? Welcome to the recap.
Yes,
Good evening. What? Have to give me a call back. I definitely want to hear from you. Apologies for keeping you waiting. I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. That's been rectified. Tosin says, Choma, Mr. Anosike said, you always make him angry. Why do you usually do that? Fine girl. When I talk, do I make you angry?
I can't remember when I said, I've not said it yet since this year.
Okay, Tochko Adiele says, good day. Yes, that money sharing isn't needed. It is true. Tinubu's government panders to emotions, shouting vulnerable when it is pinch and punches that are perceived to be wicked and harsh. Is it not time wasting? I heard and read in the dailies that even the Osun State governor is about to be announced as APC member, having been a beneficiary of the recent board appointment of which the APC party chairman is what? Tochukwu Adiele, I do not understand this message or where you are going with it. We're not discussing this today. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That's the number to call. In case the 0700, it's not going through, okay? On WhatsApp is 0817-175-6338. Welcome to the recap. Thank you for joining us. Are you there? Welcome to recap. Turn down the volume on your radio set. Turn down the volume on your radio set.
I'm calling from Ogun State.
Sorry, turn down the volume on your radio set, okay? Thank you so much. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That's the number to call to be a part of these conversations. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Hello, are you there? Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, ma.
Hi, what's your name and location,
My name
please?
is Simon Sampson.
Simon Sampson.
I'm of the Namdi Kanu.
Oh, yeah, talk.
I don't know why they delayed this man. They already charged Akute. There's no need to continue with the case again. Now, the main thing what they're supposed to do, make them release that man. Why you man outside hate Igbos?
Who says so?
What do we do?
Who says so? 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. Welcome to the recap. Keep it short, keep it simple, keep it polite, and keep it civil. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Hello, are you there? Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Hi, what's your name and location, please?
Hi, Zwok.
Great, great. How you doing? Happy weekend.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
So, concerning the program that is going on.
Yes, please.
By the way, I'm Chibest by name.
Thank you,
I'm calling you
Chibest.
from Governor Road.
Thank you, Chibest.
So, concerning the whole stuff, my sister, I cannot lie to you. This country is something that we all need to sort it out ourselves. Understand? So, I decided in 2021 or so. I'm in Abuja then. So we have a meeting with Central Bank of Nigeria. That is what is it called? Central Bank of Nigeria. Yes.
You worked with the CBN?
Yes, CBN. I mean, in Abuja. That was 2021. So I overheard they want to share this money then, that time. So one guy bring the link, understand? He said they need each family, 30 people from each family, understand? Just imagine.
Of you, the CBN staff?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What were you working as then? What was your position in the CBN?
I have a company there in Chibes Agricultural Farms, understand? So that was a loan I was like portioning then, understand, at CBN. So I now overheard that how will I call it, a spies from that CBN. They say they want to share one palliative money like that. Say they need people's accounts, understand? So one person was consulting 400 people to bring 400 people account, just one person, understand? So they give another person again, your own is to bring another 400 people. So this money, I don't think this money is reaching the main people they're supposed to have this money, understand? That is number one. Then number two, concerning Namdi Kanu issue, please, the betterment of Nigeria, if I may ask, is better they leave this case in Lagos, in Abuja there, understand? Because by the time they move this case to East again, it's going to be something hot. It will be hotter than this again, understand? In fact, every day the boys should be hanging in that court, in that particular place, safe, in that prison, understand? People will be hanging there, although Biafra men, they are too mean, understand? They can do.
Thank you for your call. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That's the number to call to be a part of these conversations. Send a message to 0817-175-6338 on WhatsApp, or you can call me on WhatsApp. Welcome. Hello, are you there? Welcome to
Hello,
Recap.
Chioma.
Good evening. Hi, what's your name and location, please?
Chioma, how you doing?
I did. How you doing? Happy weekend.
What about Mr. Anosike?
Mr. Anosike is right here.
Chioma, we will continue to talk.
Now, we are voice of the people now. When you talk, use your voice.
Joe from Bariga.
Welcome, Joe.
We are getting tired of talking.
No vex, no vex.
Tell you the truth. We don't know what to talk again about Nigeria because Mr. President is not giving us a good signal. No, we don't want to talk. Then let me talk about Damagu, or what do you call it? The PDP. What do you call it? The chairman.
Yes, the acting national chairman.
There is something that is confusing me in Nigeria. You see, no more capable hands in PDP that will come and talk, and everywhere will stand still. I don't know this issue of Damagu. Is there no more big people? Because I know some big weights in the PDP. So what are they trying to do? Are they trying to sideline? They will stay by the side and be listening what is happening in PDP. We have capable hands in PDP. What is happening to them? What is happening to PDP? Is it that APC have used juju on them or what? It's terrible. When Tabadu is playing and his brother from River State is playing, dangling a PDP, trying to bring PDP down. PDP should wake up. PDP, wake up. Wake up,
maybe
PDP.
if you shout loud that they will hear you.
Wonderful.
And finally do as you have said.
What is happening to you, PDP?
Talk to them. Talk to them. Speak. Voice of the people.
Thank you,
Thank you for your call, Joe from Bariga. Turn down the volume of your radio set. Now, what did they happen? All right, 0803-692-9933, 0803-692-9933. I just received a message on WhatsApp that I find quite funny, but it's okay. It's okay. Everyone's entitled to their opinion as long as you're not disrespectful with it. Welcome to the recap. Good evening.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name and location, please?
Good evening.
Hi, what's your name and location? He can hear you. Thank you so much for calling.
My name is Mayor from Festac.
Welcome, Mayor. Hi, it's Festac today. Happy weekend to you.
I wish you the same. Well, we are doing a good work. Well done.
I appreciate you.
Back.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You sat there for a while.
I was on the hot seat, my brother.
On the condi? Okay. Hope it's fine.
Yes, great. Thank you.
On the conditional cash transfer, it shows nothing but a government that is bereft of ideas. There's no economy where you share money. Nothing. You cannot. The 40,000 naira, like we asked earlier when you were calling with Mr. Anosike, is somebody going to use it for 1 day or 2 days? 40,000 naira cannot get anywhere for a single person, regardless of a family man. So it's just that the people who claim to be our leaders or whatever they call themselves, right from the president down, they don't have anything to offer. That is the truth. Because if you know what you are doing, you can apply that money somewhere where you can get greater results than calling people, writing fictitious names at the end of the day, like the person that said 400 names. They just use it to give to few people and corner the rest. It's not done. The country is not going anywhere under this palliative system of government. It cannot work. People should tell them that Nigeria is bigger than this. And Nigeria is bigger than these few people who are using us like a hired bicycle. You know, in those days, when you hire a bicycle for 10 naira, you want to keep rough that that 10 naira is like you want to use the bicycle to up to 1,000 naira. That is what they're using the country for. Everybody. How can somebody say you are using 8 billion naira to campaign for? How much are you going to get from the DC? Are you going to collect bills for private companies like Mr. Anosike said? We are just joking. And these things, every drug or every student has an expiry date. And we are getting to this expiry date of all these things. So let them be aware that it will consume the whole country if they don't care.
Thank you for your call.
You can push people to. And there's what they call electricity points, where the rubber will just cut. They should be very careful. Those people in government, they should be very, very careful. because they didn't want this and they will not want. They be very careful because this thing is going to end up in a terrible if they don't betray themselves.
Thank you. We appreciate your call. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That's the number to call to be a part of the conversation right here on the recap. We'll take a few more calls and then we'll move over to taking your messages on WhatsApp. Yes, we're streaming live on YouTube. In case you did not know, now you know, head on over to YouTube and type into your search bar VOP 903 FM, and you can get to be a part of the conversation by leaving a comment right there on YouTube. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. How are you doing, Nemeka from Ejiwo? Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Nemeka.
Yeah. Good job, my sister.
Thank you so much.
My greeting to my senior brother.
He can hear you. He can hear you. Please greet him so that he go leave him.
Nemeka, thank you so much.
My brother.
Adam,
okay, the CK. Chukuba women, my brother. Chukuba women. Choma, please. I say Ghana 28 years. All I find Ghanaian government doing for their people, creating job and revenue for their people to sell their skill and their talents. I found out Buhari time. Buhari shared money from his first year to the end of the 8 years. And Buhari turner was a failure tournament, turner for the Nigerians. Everybody knows that. And these people, they enter again, they begin the share. When are they going to stop this? When are they going to stop this and behave like leaders? Nobody's against anybody. But he has to put this in order and not putting it. That means Nigerians will be upset with them. That one apart. The person that is telling us how to manage and pay bill or control whatever, I want to ask him, which light? There is no light and you are telling the person how to manage nothing. Sister, please, if anybody is lamenting, don't blame that person. Nigeria is getting out of hand. We are behaving like people that is not among the human race. While we are the first black country in the world, it's a pity. God bless you, my dear.
I appreciate your call. As your VP, good job. A hard process appeared to failed mind as failure, but courageous creative thinker sees diamond in the rough and possibilities in pain. Thought in a
portrait, things like that. So that is the kind of empowerment we want. Not money to just eat a day meal. Not money to just eat a day meal. So God bless Nigeria.
Thank you so much. 29933 0803-692-9933. That's the number to call to be a part of the conversation. Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Hello, are you there? Welcome to the recap. Good evening. Yeah, what's your name and location, please?
This is Udochukwu.
All right, Udochukwu, welcome. 2 minutes, please.
God bless you.
Thank you.
What I want to say now is about the money that the government is saying they are going to share for people. It's I don't know how that money will be shared to reach us that I need. Because I find out that last year or so I heard that they shared money and it didn't reach us. So we are in Lagos. They didn't give us any. And I found out that what they are giving it to APC members. I don't belong to any party. So if they are saying that they are sharing money, they are sharing to Nigerians. Who are these Nigerians? I'm among the people, but we don't see anything. So let them know, clear the people. Let them say the people that are benefiting from this money. Let us know. Because I now, I don't belong to any party. That I can, because they are saying they are sharing money and only to APC members. That's what I find out.
That's what you think is happening. Thank you so much for your call. Appreciate it. We'll now be taking your messages on WhatsApp, all right? And any more comments on YouTube, okay? So we're streaming live on YouTube. Head on over to the app and type into your search bar VOP 903 FM, and you can get to be a part of the conversation by leaving a comment on our YouTube platforms. I will now take the myriad of messages that we have on WhatsApp, beginning from the very first. I'm starting from below so that I can capture those who actually sent their messages first. All right, can you go? Jay, good evening, Chioma and Miss Peter Noske, please. Who are the vulnerable Nigerians? The vulnerable ones don't have accounts. Majority can be found in remote villages. Did Nigeria government have databases for his citizens? Sharing of money is an avenue to buy Guinea. Sharing of money is not the solution to Nigeria's problems. Federal government should create employment, build factories, put subsidy on food and beverages security, so that farmers can go back to the farm and let them release Namdi Kanu. Prince Ayotek from Arena Market. That men marry more than one wife. And Fuba of River State stop Wike from entering River State. Or better still, can the governor ban someone from entering a state? Okay. We're not discussing this, Kunle Major. We're not discussing this. You said, okay, can't all the government people like Minister of Power just allocate the money that they take without telling us or allowing us know? Because is it not better to just take it securely and not tell us? Please answer my question. Please, please, and please. He's saying, why can they not just take this money and channel it into whatever they want to channel it to, rather than informing Nigerians that will not make Nigerians angry that, oh, see the amount of money that they are spending. He says, answer me, please answer my question. Please, 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 and please answer him.
Who's to answer him?
He's asking you now, you're not the analyst.
Or the minister should answer him.
Jama, good afternoon. Greetings to Ms. Sanas. Okay, please. It's only the government that has no vision that will continue to share palliative. This is another way of settling their party allies. The Prime Minister is a round peg in a square hole. He has nothing to offer. How many times has national grid collapsed in his tenure? It's a shame. Let him gather all he can to enable him contest for governorship candidate at Ibadan. Nigeria will hail the Daniel for Mosho. Daniel, did he tell you he's interested in the governorship? Beautiful evening to you, Mr. Nosike and Chioma. One, misstructure in the USA is a plus for them. Unlike Nigeria, where President Tinubu's tariff hike affects importers and finally consumers in the supply chain, while the foreign manufacturers jackpot for the heavy tax imposed on them to manufacture in Nigeria, where does the Yaba left need to correct in this business mentality? Which kind of question be this? The government should shelve the idea of giving money to the poor. The accident victims, their problem isn't money but good roads and transportation systems. The kidnap and terrorism victims in the IDP camp, their problem isn't money but security and protection. The government should stop throwing money away and wake up to their responsibilities. Provide the masses with their basic amenities, and the most populated black country, Nigeria, would thrive. Chisco from Ijegu Ijagemo grading road. How long will it take them to grade this road? Let them do put interlocking now. Chisco, tell them, how long will it take for them to keep grading this road? They need to finish this road fast, please, before the rainy season arrives. We live in a country where there is a glaring lack of reliable data on its citizens. Furthermore, never write which anywhere, don't write furthermore. Government officials exhibit a reckless disregard for fiscal responsibility, prioritizing their own interests over the welfare of the people. Sadly, they often neglect their basic duties and responsibilities to the citizens they serve. Abidin from Bagada. Thank you, Abidin. I always love to read your messages. Nigeria's government agency are not ashamed of calling figures. DSS is using 500 million to move a suspect within a vicinity. A minister wants to use 8 billion to sensitize Nigeria who don't have prepaid meter on how to pay their bill. Do you know how much prepaid meter will buy? This country is being ruled by prodigals. Almighty God will deliver Nigeria. Nigeria government agency. Okay, you repeated the same thing. Elder Isaac from Idimu, that's from you. Good evening, Sister Esther and the rare gem in the studios. Is it, you can't tell the difference between Choma's voice and Esther's voice. This is Choma Innocent here, but I don't mind being referred to as Esther Watch because she's a powerhouse of knowledge. I and any other rational thinking Nigerians will agree totally with the analyst, Mr. Anoske, in all he has said. Let's call it spade a spade. The current government palliatives in the form of sharing money, food, and so on is just a strategy. Since the government came into power, I've never seen any person, vulnerable or not, that has received the so-called palliatives. To me, palliative sharing to everybody like Nigerians is an insult. The government should create a conducive environment for Nigerians to fend for themselves. Egege from Agege. Thank you for your message, Egege. I really do appreciate it. This one says, good evening, Kizuke was not on air this afternoon. Hope he's okay. Are you sure? Okay. That's the wrong message. Giving of palliatives to Nigerians is not the solution to salvaging our problems. So besides, how are the statistics of disqualified Nigerians to get this money done or gotten? The government should pump the money into markets in order to reduce the price of goods, or rather create an enabling environment for people to thrive. Ministry to spend billions for publicity on the need for Nigerians to pay PHCM bills. Or watching as the planet is carefully observing and listening. That is from Comrade Abraham. Okay. Good evening, VOP. You just sent a good evening. You didn't tell us whatever you had to say. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your message. I'm going through WhatsApp, and all I can see is good evening, VOP 90.3 FM. My name is Solomon from Ilewe. Thank you, Solomon. I think you just want to let us know that you're a listener. We appreciate you. Okay. Currently, price of things is declining. Beans, rice, gari, elubo. Please confirm from your vendor or change your customer. Okay, the prices of things are declining. Beans, rice, gari, elubo. Please confirm from your vendor or change your customer. All right, you can give us a list of your vendors who are selling these things for affordable prices, and we would appreciate you. Sister Chioma, I just want to commend you with the way you're handling the program. Kudos to you and your station. Gabriel from Isolo. Gabriel, I appreciate you. All right. So I remember from what somebody said about palliatives and how they've never met anybody who got palliatives from the federal government during COVID, right? I was living at Fadi during COVID. I think it was before it really hit, or after. I think it was after the lockdown, the restrictions were eased, and some people were coming and they were sharing food items on the street where I was living then, and they came with this really big what we call bath basin, this really big wide buckets, really wide, and then they had in it noodles, spaghetti. It was opened. It wasn't inside the carton. No, it was they opened it from the carton, the packs of the noodles. So one pack of noodles, one pack of spaghetti, and they'll tell you just dip your hand and take any one you like. I said, are you asking me to choose from 170-gram pack of noodles and one pack of spaghetti? They said, yes, that's what the government said we should give to you. I said, so as I am now, if I want to eat noodles, this small 70-gram pack, this small one, will not even be enough for a child. You have to cook at least 2. They said, no, every person in this compound, every household in this compound has to take only one thing from this base. This one, I'm telling you my particular life experience. And I took spaghetti because now that one go belly fool me and the person will want chop up. You understand? And it just got me thinking, because it's a little funny when we say that each time we call and nobody says, there's nobody who's telling us that, oh, they've seen. Because even if you've not seen anybody, that even if you have not gotten these palliatives, you will know somebody. Right? People call us from places where you're wondering, where is this place? Places that are really, really, really on the outskirts of town. Places that you could call vulnerable. And yet, if these people cannot say that they have gotten these palliatives, then who are the people that these palliatives are targeting? All of these years of distributing palliatives, money, rice, and other things. All right. Good evening, Mr. Nosike, my journalist of the year. Okay. I think this is you calling. Let me just take your call so you can tell us everything that you have sent in this message, okay? Are you there? Are you there, Adedayo? All right. Chama, read my message in full. NLC led by Joe Ajero has failed. From day one, this government removed subsidy to when they increased electricity tariffs to buying of yachts, jet, 160 million cars for senators, 21 billion for renovation of VP Lounge, and the obnoxious policies that has turned people to beggars and our margarine in the midst of plenty. Now they've been compromised with 70,000 naira now saying busa to him. They have turned Nigeria to a palliative country. Now they want to increase tariff on data and calls. Soon, PHCN will increase theirs too. Considering the nightmare Nigerians are facing by this lack of capacity and visionless government that has turned the economy to a disaster and a secured country to a paradise, it's a shame. Tayo from Lagos, thank you so much for your message. Try to tweak it, okay? Try to tweak it. Your message always sounds the same. John from Ijaniki says, Chema, how did the government arrive at the poorest of the poor in this country? Because the poorest do not have bank accounts and NIN. We can tolerate Buhari because we know that all he had was a NEPA bill certificate. Ay, come on. But we can't tolerate a Chicago graduate with first class on accounting to run a government of palliative. As for the Minister of Power, he's just looking for money to fund it. Did he tell you he wanted to be a governor? Please stop saying this, okay? If he didn't, did he come out and tell you that he wants to be a governor? So you can't say he's looking for money to fund whatever. Please, that will be misinformation. All right, then. That's all the messages we can take on today's episode of the recap. We'll be taking our concluding thoughts by our analysts. Mr. Peter Muske, we've discussed quite a bit. You've gotten the opinions of other people on all the issues that we have discussed there. Let's get your concluding thoughts on each of them one after the other, starting from the international issue with Trump saying that other countries must manufacture in the USA or risk high and heavy tariffs.
For me, I had expected some of the conductors or those that are sending messages that comment on that.
We did have one or two people saying.
But the issue is this. The reason why multinationals or companies are exiting Nigeria is because there's no conducive environment. Our environment is not enabling. The cost of energy is above 30%. No business can make profit on that. So that's the number one reason. We don't have infrastructure. That's number two. Our judiciary system is not okay. Understand? So if all this are there, no company will exit Nigeria because we have one of the largest markets in the world. So that is why I say that if government can put all those things around here, they can say manufacture in Nigeria or pay tax. But right now there's no infrastructure. The cost of energy is very, very high. So that's why companies like Dunlop, Michelin, and others have exited this country because of the cost of energy and the high cost of doing business in the country.
All right, then that's all we can take on today's episode of the recap. Thank you for writing with us. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for calling. Thank you for your messages. Thank you for watching on YouTube as well. The recap will make a return same time, same station next week. We do have quite a few comments on YouTube before we go. Cynthia or Omorogeva says, good evening to the Bhutan, Nigeria, to Marjorie's APC problem carrier. Wow. Christian Godfrey says, Trump will always be your person. You are being simplistic. Those in the US don't agree with you. I know one thing for sure. I don't. Now, wow, Christian Godfrey. People died scooping fuel under Obasanjo as well. That's what Christian Godfrey on YouTube is saying. All right, then. Thank you for your message, Christian Godfrey. Thank you so much for tuning into the program. The World News at 6 comes up shortly. I know that it's 2025. It's a new year and everyone's looking for how to make a headway. But then don't just think about what your country can do for you. Think about what you can do for your country. Do the best that you can to make Nigeria better in your own little corner of the world. My name is Choma Innocent. Do have an amazing evening and stay tuned. The World News at 6 comes up shortly. Thank you so much for joining me on the recap this evening. I do appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. We'll do this again next week. Have an amazing evening and stay tuned to Voice of the People 90.3 FM.